Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So basically now, previously we had discussed about the single inheritance we had seen the multiple inheritance. Now today is the turn for this multi-level inheritance. Now basically today we are going to see that basically what is multi-level inheritance and how we just do that thing in the Python programming language. Right. So first of all, what I would be just doing is that I would be making a class here, right? So I would be just, let's say the name for my class is mother. So I would just write here mother. Okay, this is my class which I had made here. Okay. Now inside this class, basically what I would be just doing is that I would be passing on to, let's say, I'll be making a class variable. You all remember the class variable concept, right? So we had already discussed this class variable in the previous videos. So I would just like make a class variable, and let's say that class variable is underscore badminton. Okay, let's say this is the variable which I had made here, and let's say here I just write 2. So let's say it actually means that I had a class mother, and in that, like, my mother plays badminton 2 hours, right? Let's say this is the concept which you can just take it from here. Okay, after the class mother, let's say I just like declare a class that is daughter. Okay, now basically in multi-level inheritance, what is done? Okay, we have one class. Okay, that one class is inherited onto the second class. Okay, now that second class is being inherited into the third class. That third class is inherited into the fourth class, and this procedure goes on. So basically what happens that n number of classes are inherited inside n number of classes, right? So let's say here I just took the example. Now here what I just said right now, that one class is being inherited into the second class. Let me just like write this thing here that in okay, let me write out the procedure. Let me just put out the uh, three codes here. Inside that I would just add that in multi-level inheritance, in multi-level, and here I would just write in multi-level inheritance, the first class, okay, the first class is inherited to second class. Okay, this is the first thing. In multiple inheritance, the first class is inherited to second class. Now after that, comma, the second class is being inherited to third class. Okay, now third to fourth class, and this procedure goes on and on. Fine. So this is actually what we call as multi-level inheritance. That in multi-level inheritance, the first class is inherited to second class is being inherited to the third class, third to fourth to fifth, and this procedure goes on till the point you are just making the classes. Right, this is actually what we describe and what we say as multi-level. Now let me just quickly put out the colon here, and inside this let me inherit my first class, and that of my first class is my mother class. Right, inside this again I would, let's say, just declare is underscore, and I would just write, let's say, is underscore badminton. Okay, it's underscore badminton. Yes, and for this, let's say I just wrote here the value as 3. Now, even if I just want to declare some function also inside this, that also works. Let's say I just declare a function def, and here I would just, let's say, play. Okay. Now, inside this, even I just want to write out the print statement. Let's say that print statement is that I play 3 hours 3 hours a day. Fine. So that also I can just apply here. Now, what next here we have? I need to declare my third class. Fine, we had declared the first class and then second class. So inside the second class, I have inherited my first class. Now inside my third class, I would be inheriting my second class. Okay. So let's say my third class is granddaughter. Okay, Grand, granddaughter. Fine. And inside this, basically, I would be inheriting my daughter class, right? So this is actually what I am applying here as multi-level inheritance, right? Again, if I just write here is underscore badminton is equal to, now let's say here I just wrote 4. Again, I would just make one function here. Let's say now this function is def is underscore play. Okay, self has automatically be passed, And here simply I can just write a print statement, and that print statement is I play, let's say I play 4 hours a day. Okay, so this is basically what I have just added here. So what I mentioned in the definition was that in multi-level inheritance, the first class is inherited to the second class. The second class is being inherited to the third, the third to fourth, and this procedure continues on. Now try to understand the things that I'm telling you right now very clearly, that I had made a mother class. Okay, inside that I had declared a class variable, that is okay. After that what I have done, I have declared a daughter class, right? Now inside that daughter class, I have declared the mother class. So this actually what means? This means that my daughter class, which I have just taken here, that would be having the properties of my daughter class and of my mother class as well. Why? Because I have inherited my mother class into my daughter class. So my daughter class will be having its own properties. That is okay. Its own properties, like let's say its own function, its own variable. But what it will be having? It will even be having some properties of this mother class. Fine. Now, come on to the third procedure, that is granddaughter class. I had made a granddaughter class, and inside that I had inherited daughter. Now, so my granddaughter class indirectly would be having the excess of my daughter class as well as my mother class. Now, it will be having the properties of my mother class as well. Why? Because my daughter class, because I have inherited my mother class into my daughter class, and that daughter class I am inheriting into the granddaughter class. So this is actually what is happening now. My granddaughter class, which I have declared at the last, this granddaughter class will be having its own properties. Okay, granddaughter class will be having its own properties, the properties of my daughter class, even the properties of my mother class. Right. So this is the procedure that is being followed here. Now what I will be just doing is that I will be just going here, and let's see here I will just making the object for all the three now different. Now the object will not be remain same. Okay, so let's say for my mother class I had made the object that is 1. Okay, for my daughter class, let's say I would just make the object that is 2, and let's say 3 is the object that I will be making for my, let's say, granddaughter class. Right, so these are the things, three things which I had made. I had made object 1 for my mother class, object 2 for my daughter class, and object 3 for my granddaughter class. Now, if I just want to access anything from any class, then I would be able to do that thing, right? I could simply just write here, let's say, I can simply write not 1, I would just write here 2 dot and let's say play. Okay, 2 dot play. And now if I just run out my program here, basically see what output I am getting. Just let me show you that thing here. So the output that I am getting here, that I play 3 hours a day. Right, and just come above here and just check out that inside my play statement what I have written. I have written I play 3 hours a day. Right, so that thing I have just done it here. Now what comes here, like other things that come here, let me just quickly comment out this thing here. Now what else I can just do here from here is that I can just add on my print statement, and inside that print statement, if I just want to access any variable, any class variable with the help of the object, so I would be just seeing that thing also. Let's say I just wrote 2 dot and here I just add daughter. Okay, 2 dot daughter. Okay, that is not, okay, that is not daughter. So it is basically 2 dot and is underscore badminton. Badminton, the name for my class variable. So if I just write print 2 dot is badminton, so in that case basically this is being like running and this is giving me the answer as 3. Now what if I just try to access any other, like any other class with any other function? Okay, let me give you an example here. Let's say if I just try to access the three object, the object that is 3, which is of my granddaughter class, and I want to access the function of my daughter class. Okay, I'm taking the object for my granddaughter class and I'm taking the function for my daughter class. Now basically let's see what will be happening here. So again just have a look that I got the output which was expected, and I played 3 hours a day. So check out my play function, what it is written inside that. Inside this it is written I play 3 hours a day. Right, so that has came because here basically what I have done, I have inherited one class onto the another, right? So let's say this mother class which I had made, I had this like mother class which I had made, I had inherited this into the daughter class. So it will be containing the properties of both the classes, right? My daughter class as well as my mother class. Next, what I have done, I have inherited the daughter class onto my granddaughter class. So now this granddaughter class which I had just made here, this will be having the variables, the functions, the properties of my daughter class and as well as of my mother class. So when I had just tried to access the object of my third class, that is 3, with the help of the function of my daughter class, so it basically did not give me any error or something like that. It simply gave me the output. Let me show you this thing once again. Let's say 1 is the object for my mother class, right? I just wrote that thing. And if I just try to access this, okay, what was the function? That was, I guess, is play for my granddaughter class. Yes. So I would just write 1 dot is underscore play, right? And I would just put the bracket and I would just write this thing and run it here. So again, I'll be just getting, okay, mother object has no attribute is play. Let me just check it out there here. Okay, so basically it is saying that mother object has no attribute, that is dot play, because why now, why it is giving me this thing? It is giving me this thing because I have directly not inherited this mother class inside the granddaughter class. If I have done that thing directly, then it would have given me the answer. But when I haven't done this thing directly, so it is giving me the error, right? This is the procedure which we actually follows here, and this is the like thing that we actually follow here, right? So this is basically how we just do the multi-level inheritance. So in multi-level inheritance, the first class is inherited to second class, second is being inherited to the third, and third is being inherited to the fourth, and it basically this cycle goes and continues on. Right, so I hope you have got a fair idea that basically what happens in the multi-level inheritance, right? So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.